Gabagol versus Bose. This is the Slim Ghost Gulag, and this is actually streamed on not only Slim Ghost's Twitch, but also his YouTube. I'll leave links to both of those in the description. Shout out to Slim for putting on these tournaments and for just giving Comp Madden, a reason to play midweek. And super excited to get into this game, get into this matchup. Now, this game is actually taking place mid-October, early October. And so it's on the heels of the last elims, and both Gab and Vose very close to making the most feared live event. It came up a little bit short, and so a lot of good things are going to be seen in this game as far as schemes, things they're doing. There's just a lot of things that you can obviously learn from these two players, who are two of the best players in the world. Now, Gabagol is going to be starting out defensively. Vo is going to be, I believe, in the Jaguars playbook. I don't know what Gab is in. I'm pretty sure he was still in Jags, but we'll see as this goes on. Bunchak's Nasty and 3-3 Cub. This is pretty meta right here. So I just want to go ahead and kind of break down the overarching picture of the scheme. So if we have breakdowns on both of these schemes in our school community. I'll leave a link to that in the description below if you guys want to get a little bit deeper of dive into what's actually going on. But basically, what you're going to see here, and I guess I was wrong. I guess Gab is starting on offense, Vose on defense. Vose is in this 3-3 Cup, so my bad. And I'll also leave a link to Vose's site, and I think Gab has a new site as well. I'll leave links to both those in the description if you guys want to check out their sites. Basically, everything's in the description. So, anyways, what I want to get at here is what he's doing defensively. This is kind of the new kind of meta defense that you're seeing, in my opinion, and this is really good. So what makes this defense really good is there's a new feature in the game called untarget the user. And so what Gabagol can do is he can tell his offensive line, "Hey, I don't want you to worry about this guy." Now, the reason EA added this in is because what we used to do is essentially we would, kind of hover with the user and then we drift back into coverage and we'd be able to trigger, different types of pressures this way. Now, what happens is Gabagol can essentially tell his offensive line, "Hey, I don't want to untarget you." But this is with switch stick. This is kind of developed into a little bit of a new strategy for how to run this. So essentially, if Gabagol does not untarget his user here, if he sends 1, 2, 3, 4, then Gabagol basically has to slide protect to the left side to block it, which then could leave open this guy if he were to send 5. So essentially, the best way to pick up the splits is to untarget this user, okay? However, if he untargets the user, and let's say Vose drops this guy into a hook, he can hit right on the D-pad. And when he hits right on the D-pad, it'll switch stick him to this defender, and now this guy will blitz right up the middle, and he'll be completely untouched. So that's kind of the back and forth of what you're going to see is Vose going to send his user? Is Gabagol going to untarget the user? The other thing is when you do it like this, let's say you do this D-pad switch. If Gabagol was to slide his line to the left side, because of this nose tackle here, when he does the slide, it still allows this guy to come in, okay? So essentially, the best way to ultimately block this blitz is to simply block a running back, which nobody wants to do in this game because there's not really a single blitz in the game that is going to do more than that, I would say. And so that's kind of what you see here. So the other elements of this is he appears to be in a cover 2 shell on the outside, so he can drop these guys into different adjustments. From an offensive perspective, Gabagol's and Bunchak's Nasty. A lot you have to worry about with this formation. This is the clear #1 formation up to this point in the game, and Gab is going to be running that. We'll talk a little bit more about that as the game goes on, but that's kind of what you're seeing defensively. So you see here Vos setting up early with the potential of a blitz. See how he's hovering here, and you see he engages here, and immediately, as you see, he D-pad switches to somebody. So in this case, he switches to this flat defender, and Gabagol is going to be running spacing switch, one of the best plays in the game. I'll talk a little bit about that play as it's a beautiful, beautiful dot that doesn't get caught. So let's talk about this offense real quick. So the biggest thing here, a couple things you have to worry about when you play Bunch X Nasty. And what makes Bunch X Nasty actually, I think, really good is the running back, honestly. Because the running back can run 1 of 2 routes that are really, really good in this game. He can either run this fast table route, which is really good because it beats man coverage, or he could run this like cross slide route. So what that does is with the running back, he is essentially a significant threat, kind of both to the sidelines on both sides, and then obviously he can still run like a speed in route or a Texas route or a streak route. So he just has a lot of different versatility with this running back. And basically, the bottom line is you can't man the running back up. That's kind of the bottom line. Manning the running back up. This slide route beats man. This flat route beats man. So you can't really do that. Okay. The other main thing is this is kind of the number one passing concept in the game this year. It's essentially smash return. So what you get is you get this table route. You could get a drag or you could get a slant. Okay, either one of those. Those are the two main routes. Then on this guy, you could get normally you're just going to get a streak. Okay. And then on this ass guy, you're going to get a return route that is the new hot route that he's able to hot route. And then on this isolation receiver, you're going to get kind of one of two routes. You're going to get a in route, or you're going to get what Gabagol runs right here, which is a crosser. Crosser a little bit better against man, in route a little bit better against zone. So obviously Gabagol kind of anticipating here that Vos runs me in coverage. And so what you see is you get table, drag, return, and then crosser. And so, I kind of, as this play looks here, you see here, he's got this crosser in this window. Vos can't switch stick it. Honestly, throws it just a little late and kind of gets a bad animation, and he's not going to be able to catch that ball and bounce. So those are kind of the core things that are going to be going on scheme wise throughout this game, as far as like at least Vos defense versus Gav's offense. Those are kind of the main things schematically that you'll see, other than just basics adjustments. Another thing you'll see is a sim 3 from Vos here. We'll see what he ends up doing here. It does look like, yeah, he's going to send that pressure. There's that slide route we were talking about. And you see he hits it. So let's take a look at this combo from Gab. If you run Bunch X Nasty, this is kind of a cool combo. It's actually a really nice one. Let's take a look at this one more time. So this is that running back slide route, but what he does, he has a slot fade here for a clear out route. He's got a high low, so he's got a drag and he's got a crosser. But then he uses this super deep stemmed up curl. Really good route this year. And this running back slide route to create a backside curl flat concept. It's a very nice way to get to curl flat. As you see, Vos's user has to do a lot of stuff over here, and then he's gonna have the curl right there, or he's gonna have the slide route right here. So both routes being open, and one of the main purposes of those stemmed up curl routes this year is primarily for beating those hooks on 5. When people put their hooks on 5, that is a simple solution that you can do to be able to attack it, is use a deep stemmed up curl route like that. Another common adjustment here you're seeing is a man up and a hard flat on the side, but then you get this audible. This is why I think Gabagol's probably in Jags, might be in Lions, but this is the wild trio close formation where now the running back flips sides. And so now this hard flat becomes kind of like, not necessarily obsolete, but not the best thing here. In this man up, also there's some other things that become vulnerable as well. So anyway, Gabagol doing a really good job of picking up this blitz, and he's not blocking a running back either. One of the beauties of that wild trio close is most of the plays are going to be ran out of play action, and when you run plays out of play action, they do a little better job at picking up blitzes. You see here that Vos is setting up 3-3 odd. 3-3 odd and 3-3 cover are very similar. There's a slight difference to them, but they are very similar in terms of just the overarching concept of how they're ran. You'll see here he's going to the CB1 inside package, and he is going to jump in 3-3 odd. So I want to just quickly break down 3-3 odd. Again, I have shorter breakdowns on the channel. If you guys want longer breakdowns, they're in our school community. Both these defenses I've talked about at length. But essentially here, what you're going to get is you're going to get a send 5 type of pressure off of either side. So he's going to use her here, and basically you're going to get blitz, blitz, boom, boom, and then this slot corner. Pretty much almost very difficult to pick up this blitz even with slide protection. And so this slot corner has a really good chance of being able to come in free. As you see, Vos going with a zone on the right side, kind of a man here, and then a hard flat for the running back. That's why another great thing to do from time to time in Bunch X Nasty, you don't see a lot of people do it, but it's actually really effective, is to flat route and seam wheel. When people start to do this adjustment, that would be wide open in that situation. This is becoming a very common adjustment because people are trying to stop that spacing switch flat route. So anyway, Gab audible over here to the trio. Let's just take a look at what happens. So Vose here, you can tell because this user is a hook roll, he's not really planning to D-pad switch. This guy's going to probably end up in coverage more than likely. So yeah. So as you see in coverage here, and then you see here Gabagol this time, right? I don't know exactly what he was doing slide protection wise, but effectively, right? I don't know if he didn't target this guy or what, but this guy's coming in completely free up the middle and ends up doing a nice job of checking the ball down to the left side. All right, so 2nd down and 8 here for Gab. Again, Vose in that 3-3 odd. And this time he's going to use a rush up the gap with the D-pad switch. Good read by Gabagol. Gabagol doing a really good job in this drive of just getting the ball out quickly. I think one of the things that really marks some of these top-level offenses, top-level players, is they get the ball out on time for the most part, right? Especially when they're getting pressured consistently. So we're going to get a send 5 on the left side. And good pickup from Gab. And it's just going to pop the coverage for a touchdown. So let's take a look back at what happens on a coverage perspective from Vose. This is kind of a standard Vose coverage that he will do a lot. So as you see here, he's going to blitz 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to hard flat, third, middle third, outside third, cloud, user in this area right here. So what Gabagol does is he goes to kind of a pretty standard corner route, post route, return route, and this skinny streak right here. This inside third is just too far over here. It's not in a good position, and it just can't get there. It's not in a good position to be able to run back, and so Gabagol does a really good job of just kind of peeking that clear out read. Obviously has a lot of answers underneath. He could hit this, he could hit this, he could hit this, but this is wide open, and he does a really good job of hitting it for a touchdown quick against Vose's defense. So now we're going to get an opportunity to see what Gabagol's doing defensively in a game where defense is very difficult, and also going to see what Vose is doing offensively. I believe Vose is in Jaguars. Might be bouncing around a little bit offensively. We'll see what he ends up doing, but we'll see here. So Mari Cooper scampers up to the 21-yard line. And we'll take a look here. So he is in the Jets playbook. The reason we know this is because of this right here. Ace slot and trips tight end offset. So Vose is in the Jets playbook. Really good stuff in Jets, actually. Even with the latest patch, really, really good stuff in Jets. It's got the bubble out of bunch tight end. It's got a better bunch nasty. Just a lot of good stuff in Jets. Little QB playmaker there. One of the things that you're going to see Vose do is he'll get out of the pocket a lot. See if it's kind of his standard thing. Now, as far as Gabagol's defense, it appears he's in the single mug. Single mug really only, kind of good for really 2 or 3 things. So, if you wanted to get a pressure, you could engage here and send this linebacker, and you could get, send 4 or send 5 pressure. Problem is, it's really difficult to get off of the block with your user, and you have to engage the blitz doesn't work. Okay, so that's option A. Option B is just a standard send 4 like this with good D tackles, which he does have. He has the good D tackles here. Option B is Texas 4-man or Texas 2-man, depending on how he wants to play it. So those are kind of the main pressure options that Gabagol is going to have here. And you see goes to bunch tight end here. And this is a great combo. I think bunch tight end is going to continue to rise over the year as a good offense, a good secondary offense. So you'll see here what he does. He goes kind of a unique play, but he's going to go drag Texas. He's going to go with a flat here. And then on this backside, he's got a streak, and then he's got a post. So kind of a combo you don't see a lot anymore, but a lot of stuff over the middle of the field for the user to have to lurk. And you see he can kind of throw in this little window right here between the yellow zone and the flat defender, or between the user and the flat defender, and he's able to get really nice yardage on that. So again, I think this is one of those playbooks that has a lot of cool stuff in it, and this this audible from part of what makes this bunch tight end better than the one in Jets is the bubble screen. You have the bubble screen here, which he's going to go to. He actually uses a tactic that is really, really important to talk about. So, what he does here is you're going to see when he audibles, he instantly basically hot routes this receiver. You have to basically do it as soon as you hot route or audible to it. But as soon as you audible to it, before this guy gets in position, you can put him on a flat route. And then what happens is now this bubble becomes basically like a read flat play, really good play, and it's just a really nice. It's just a really really nice play that's very difficult to defend, and so very high percentage play call. I think that's another thing these guys do so well is they generally are going to call very high percentage play calls that are designed to give them answers against every single coverage in this game. And there's motion corner under, the table route, this corner route was patched, but this is still a really, really good corner route. You'll see right here, this is a short corner. And you see how against that man coverage, he takes that cut, almost able to beat the man, creates a nice little high-low read over there on the left side. And then on the back side, you just have some high-low stuff in the middle to kind of hold the user. And able to basically get off and break a tackle and get upfield for a lot of yards there. I actually love this Jets. The more I'm watching Jets, the more I'm kind of like, I'm seeing Jets, honestly. Just because Wob Trio Close is, it's good, but it's not like what it used to be. No high-low read on the left side, hit that corner route. That's a route you have to throw if you're in bunch tight end. So a very common adjustment on bunch tight end here is you're going to get this right here, exactly what Gabagol does. So you're going to get this guy blitzing. This guy is going to be in kind of no man's land, typically a cloud, maybe a soft squat. He could be zone dropped. He could also be like on a zone drop cloud to 10. Those are some things you'll see. But a lot of times you get cover two to this side. One of the best ways to attack cover two is with this table route and this corner route. Essentially, what he does is he isolates this defender, and he's basically, if you look at this read here, he's looking left. He sees this guy kind of snap down, and automatically, right, Gabagol tries to switch here, but kind of messes up, I think. And then you have this wide open. But this guy's also put into conflict if you think about it too, which is maybe why he doesn't bite, because he has this backside post. But this is a really, really good play, and just gives you really easy answers, against different defenses. Good play by Bose, and he's able to get the touchdown. So, second drive coming up for Gab, and we'll see what he's able to do offensively. Pretty efficient drive from both players out of the gates. We'll see kind of how we adjust after that first drive. Typically, the first drive, right, trying to kind of get a feel for how the game's going to go. What are the things they're going to do? What are the core plays? Second drive is where you start to see a little bit more of adjustments. So you'll see a little bit more of like specific things. We'll see here. First and 10 from the 28. Was that trio close, and he gets block shedded, and he gets sacked. So one of the things with this 3-3 Cub is you still want to have, those good defensive linemen to get you those sheds, even if the pressure doesn't get home. Able to get that pressure. Gabagol ends up taking a massive sack, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 22. All right, so situational defense here, right? Going to play a little bit more bend but don't break. Gets a nice block shed, and unfortunately for Gab, he misses a streak up the middle. Bose hopped into cover 2, but he also did not defend the deep middle of the field. But going to bring up a 3rd and 22. Notice that Bose turns those hooks to 15. Essentially, he's just trying to get Gabagol on a 4th down. I think he's going to just put him back on default. One of the things you have to watch out for is the stemmed up curls. In these situations, you have to watch out for stemmed up curls. One of the best routes in the game in these type of situations, but this should be a drop everybody, drop back, and just kind of just bad right there. Just kind of like crazy. tight play, ends up going for 6. But if we take a look back at what actually happens here, you see how Vos runs down with his user like super far. Gabagol appears to have untargeted his user in this situation because he knows that Vos is not going to want to blitz his user. And so Vos comes down super far, but then at the last second, you see how he kind of stops. And he's trying to basically lurk this, but he kind of stays too low. And then there's just nothing over here. There's just nothing on the left side at all to counter this. And Ingram able to just quickly break a tackle, get out of there, and that's going to be 6. So I mean, honestly, the way I would say that was a little bit over aggressive in terms of just how he used it on the play based on the situation there. But also, obviously just trying to go through and get a big stop. Just not able to do it. Ends up getting up 7 in kind of a big way, in my opinion. I mean, that was just and Gabagol making a good read. Gabagol making a good read, throwing on time, getting the ball out quick. But ultimately, I think just a little bit over aggressive in terms of how that was used. All right, so 1st and 10, motion cross post for Vos. There's the slide route, and he throws a pick. So this is what I call a tendency breaker play. A lot of times when you run short side bunch, you're going to flip into wide side bunch. What Vos does is he runs the cover 2 beater. It's a slot fade, a streak, and then typically you'll get like a post, a drag, and this running back slide or something like that. The money route is obviously the slide route. Well, Gabagol does a really good job of switch sticking and just basically running right to it. And Vos throws it anyway. This guy's going to be wide open here. Obviously, easy for me to say that, but, he just basically missed the read. He got switched. At the end of the day, Vos got switched. He thought he could maybe squeeze it in over the top, probably. But ultimately, he gets switch stick picked. That's a huge turnover. So really back-to-back plays for Vos that, tight plays, of course, as every play is going to be in a game like this. But, I would say, 2 back-to-back big mistakes that really cost him. Nice flat route to Gibbs. I think that was that spacing switch flat route, I would assume. Didn't get a chance to see the play because we're looking at a replay. Anywho, all right. So now back in the Cub, kind of got done with odd quick. Well, he's back in that Cub. There's that pressure. That's what I'm talking about, man. And that right there alone really separates Cub as one of the top level defenses because you can do stuff like that in Cub. And, realistically, you don't even have to necessarily send the outside guy. And then you also have good block shots. Cubs always known for having, really good block shots from those three guys. A little double corner combo for Gab did not work. And Gabagol kind of wasting his opportunity here. I mean, 3rd and 17, another long 3rd down. I think Vos might go a little bit more heavy. There's more man coverage here. What's really interesting is you don't see people call like tight end seam wheels like they used to. That used to be the number one route. Anyway, nice drag or little return underneath. We have a 4th down. Got him a decision for Gab. Gab going to play conservatively here and just take his field goal, go up 2 possessions. Now, part of the strategy behind this is there are 32 seconds in the first quarter. So, reason being is the way that I would see that is, okay, I want to be in a position, Gabagol, ideally, everybody wants to be in a position where they get the last possession of half, because when you get the last possession of half, you can essentially use halftime as a way to get a stop. And so he's been playing good defense. He's going to play good defense here, in his opinion. His hope here is even if Vos goes down and gets 4 or gets 7, then he's going to get an opportunity to have the ball at the end of the half, go down, be in a position to score before halftime. I would assume that's the logic behind taking the field goal there. Vos hits the bubble screen, and the bubble screen does what the bubble screen does. I mean, that bubble screen is really, really, really good. Abram ran that bubble screen, I believe, and I want to say Abram made the event. I'm pretty sure that he did. Here's another cool combo at a bunch tight end. This is when you've been running the bubble screen a lot, they're going to eventually cover two hard flat. It's a great way to beat it. It's a slot fade, and you have just a lot of answers with this corner. Straight slot fade, there it is. It was a corner route, good hit. Gab switches there. Gab, I would say, does have a fairly decent switch stick in terms of if we compare him to some of the other top level players. I think, Fancy, Wesley, and Gab, they all three have good switch sticks. I think Clef has a good one. Henry's is a lot different. The way he switch sticks is a lot different than Fancy, Wesley, some of those guys, but it's very efficient. If you ever watch Henry play, he's very calculated when he switch sticks. Nice little read there. This is a cool play that he just ran. I think this is Y flat goal line. But I think this is a very cool play. So it's a great tendency breaker. So he runs this to short side. Again, this is what I call a tendency breaker play because, typically you're going to flip in a wide side. But what he does here is he pairs it with a cover two beater. So he has the fade, he has the streak, and then he has this slant out type corner route, backside drag hitting quick. So you'll see here backside in route, backside drag. But that cover two, like that would be a touchdown. But then also, it just a great play, really nice play right there to attack that cover two on that bunch side. Yeah, that was definitely Y flat goal line. All right, so we're gonna audible into doubles flex. Kind of a unique play call here. I haven't seen a lot of that. Hits that drag route in a nice little area. And you see, I mean, even though short corners did receive a nerf, right? There's still a lot of use for short corners in this game. He's going to go to trip side in here. Now, this is cool. Take a look at what he just did. We haven't seen this yet. So he goes to the bubble out of trips, and he puts this guy on a flat. So he did the same thing he did out of bunch tight end, where he puts this guy on a flat route, and this is going to make it much, much more difficult to stop. But obviously, their Gab did stop it and was able to take it away. But kind of a cool thing that it's not just a bunch tight end exclusive thing. It's a concept that can cross apply to other formations. Is the second you audible, you hot route that player to a flat route, and that can give you some cool answers. Now I'm going to go to trips verticals with a comeback route on the outside. That comeback route will never get thrown. And Camp Scam Newton out there just mixing it up. Gabagol sent the dogs. Yeah, just straight double mug mid blitz, send six, and somehow Scam Newton scampers out of there, for a touchdown. All right, so 4 minutes and 3 seconds left in the first half. This is kind of where that decision I'm talking about for Gab to take three. So 4 minutes is not necessarily a super hard clock. Like he could easily clock this out. We'll see if he does. But my objective would be like you score a touchdown, you may give Bose the ball back with a little bit of time, but not enough time to put a whole drive together. So we'll see what he ends up doing. Goes to the run. That's when the other thing is 3-3 Cub, man, just shoots that run perfectly. You don't even really have to do anything to stop the run in 3-3 Cub, which is another great advantage to the defense. I mean, 3-3 Cub is definitely, I think, the top level. You want to play good defense right now? I think this is one of the better ones that I've seen. 3-3 Cub, 3-3 odd. I think those two are the best because, like, ultimately, if you're running double mug or you're running single mug, more so if you're running single mug or like nickel wide, those are more just basic. They don't really have like a good blitz threat. I think that's what it comes down to. Whereas 3-3 Cub and 3-3 odd, they have relevant blitz threats there. Bo is going to take a look at the film, see what he could have done better. We'll see here what happens on this one. So yeah, Gabagol definitely, as you see the chew clock, he's gonna say this is the last. In his mind, this is the last drive I have. That run right there, man. Look at how good that 3-3 Cub is shooting inside zone. That is a nice shoot right there. All right, so going to go with the hooks on 10, and this snap going to get you to the 2-minute warning if you stay in bounds. Probably going to have to pass. Second 14, You don't really want to be on like third and long in these games. And good hit to the slide route. And he's going to do a good job staying in bounds. Now we're at the 2. Now we're down to the 2-minute warning. And we'll see what Gab cooks up on 3rd and 5. They see again that user right in that little spot right there between the guard and the center. And then he's going to D-pad switch out. So there's your D-pad switch. Good pressure. Great read from Gab. Able to hit that against that cover 0. Kind of a wild dive right there. Bo's just taking a look at the film. Live film room from Bo's. 1st down and 10 on the 38. Yeah, and I mean, I feel like Bo's has played really good defensively. And Gabagol has, with the exception of the play with the tight end slant, I feel like Gabagol, I mean, even that play, like Gabagol's just done a really good job of hitting his reads right as he's getting hit. Like he's throwing right on time. See how quick Gab's getting that out. Like it's just quick processing, quick reads. The other thing is that this blitz for Vose, as good as this blitz is, it's not coming in every single time. I will say that too. That's another really interesting thing. I don't know how he's sliding. It looks like he's sliding to the right, but it could be a full slide. He might be full sliding to the right. Which if I'm Vose, that's where I'm like, okay, let me mix in a 5-man off the left. We'll see if he does that. But if you send 5, like if you're hovering here, you send this guy. You could even send 6 out of this now that I think about it, because you could D-pad switch to safety. There's just a lot more versatility defensively with switch stick. Switch stick has added so much more depth to defense than there was before. What's crazy is in a game where you do have switch stick and you do have all these things, all these tools, it's still ridiculously hard to get a stop in this game. Like really, really, really hard. All right, good run to Gibbs, good run defense. That's again 3-3 Cub. But as you see, I mean, Gabagol's done a really good job here. He's taken all those timeouts. He's 37 seconds. You probably ultimately, I don't know what you do here. I think realistically, you could kind of just try to score here. A 3, if Vose did go down and get 3 before half, that would be a big deal. But I would just think in this year's game, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that I would necessarily, because the timeout situation here, he only has 1 timeout. Gabagol does only has 1 timeout, so you're kind of in this awkward deal if you don't want to clock yourself out. But he gets a good run there. This is going to kind of get that clock down, and now probably going to see 2 passing attempts to try to score, I would think. We'll see what he ends up doing here. He's in this trip side in. That's why I think Gabagol is in Jags, because he's in the trip side in with the QB runs. And that's why a lot of people, honestly, are in Jags. Hits that nice read right on time. Vo's just a little bit behind it. And that's a big touchdown. It's a big touchdown because also, not only did he score a touchdown, Vo's just going to share his thoughts with the chat. Not only is this a big touchdown, but you see here he scores with only 7 seconds. Okay, this is a really important element of strategy, especially in a game where, like I said, it's just not a very good defensive Madden. And so it's hard. It's really hard to get stops in this game. And so because of that, him being able to score in that situation does so much for the big picture of this game, where he's able to effectively steal a stop. Unless Vose gets a Hail Mary here, which Vo's pretty good at Hail Marys. I think he made a live last year off a Hail Mary, I believe, but I can't remember for sure. I'm going to go to the goalpost Hail Mary, and he's going to just sit there and sling it. Gets a red and accurate, and not able to get it done. And that's going to take us to half. So coming out of halftime, Gabagol going to be getting the ball here. And he's going to scamper up to about the 20-yard line. See what Vose ends up doing out of half. It's a big drive for Vose. You kind of need 7. If you get 3 here, it's these Madden games, man, they happen so quickly. 5-minute quarters on both sides. If you only get 3 here, you're going to put yourself in a tough spot. I do love this Jags bunch tight end, man. The more I look at this, I actually love what you can do out of this. There's some really cool things. He's going to go to a bomb play first play. I don't love this decision. Is what it is, and throws a pick, and that's why I don't love that. That's why I hate stuff like that. I mean, you talk about a terrible, terrible interception. This is a terrible interception. You're 1st and 10. All you got to do is go down, get 7, and again, like, I mean, I see what he's seeing here, but essentially, what I think he's hoping happens, and by the way, it doesn't even happen. What he's hoping happens is this guy pulls the quarter, and this guy goes over the top. The quarter stays there. As you see, Gabby will switch on to it. It's dead. Look who's standing wide open, right? And again, maybe you would think maybe his eyes are looking here. I just don't know what he realistically sees on this play. And that corner route is, I mean, yeah, like he's still open. I think he's kind of in this, yeah. I mean, I guess he just throws it late, honestly. I think that's what it comes down to. So he's throwing it to the right guy. He just ultimately throws it super late. And I mean, if you when you slow it down frame by frame like this, it looks a little bit better. But watch how long, see how long, boom, 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 like, and you see, I mean, it just takes too long, and he basically just runs him like. Once you're here, you see that, I would think you got to go here, but I think he's just a little bit behind because he's trying to probably wait on this thing to clear, right? Maybe when he saw Gabagol switch off, maybe they thinks this guy's going to run down. I don't know. There's a lot of things that he could have done. He could have ran the ball. He could have thrown this a little bit earlier. And then, right here, right when he throws it, he could throw that. He could run the ball. He could run the ball. He could probably run the ball. So he could throw it away. I mean, there's just a lot of things. And ultimately, this turnover is really significant. And you see, I think he's probably frustrated with himself because he knows a massive mistake in a game that realistically he's played pretty good in, and finds himself down not only 2 scores now, but with that big interception, now he's down. Now he's potentially going to be down 3 scores if Gabriel was able to capitalize on this touchdown. So, I mean, just a huge mistake in this game, and I mean, yeah, it's hard to. These games are so short. It really is, at some degree, a game of mistakes. Who makes that big mistake in the game, and that was a big one. It's a big mistake. There's that nice pressure. You see, I mean, his defensively, he's. It's also kind of a testament to, like, a little bit about how good Gabagol is, also a little bit about how ridiculously hard defense is in this game. But Vos threw 2 interceptions ultimately. The first one, both of them kind of were switch stick lurks. The first one I could kind of see a little bit more. Like, the first one I could see a little bit more because you're trying to just burn that cover 2 coverage. You might have a little window to hit it. I feel like that second one, really more so than the more you watch it back, I feel like that second pick, really just a matter of, like, I hit the right receiver, but I hit him late. And because I threw it late, then it opened the door for that switch stick to be able to happen ultimately. So anyway, but he does answer right here with a nice defensive stop on 4th and 6. Great defensive play. We didn't even talk about this. So what you see is, again, this is what I was talking about. So Vos finally does it. So Gabagol is full sliding here to the right side. So all you have to do is send this linebacker. So he does. He sends the linebacker. Linebacker comes in completely free. And then, as you see here, right, the only real throw is here, but then this guy probably goes down and tackles him. So what he's probably waiting on is this little curl. He tries to throw it or throw this. I mean, there's just really nowhere to throw the ball. And yeah, great defensive stop by Vos. Great adjustment to Gabagol's primary pass protection. When Gabagol's full sliding to the left side, or full sliding to his user side, Vos does a really good job here of sending pressure off that backside. And then that pressure, right, very difficult to block when you're doing a full slide like that. So here, Gabagol going to be in that double mug defense, spread D line. Gets a nice block shed on the left. And again, I mean, Like what? Is he throwing the running back? Oh, okay. Yeah. So he's throwing the running back. Running back is wide open. Doesn't throw it on time and throws the ball just a little bit too late. Gets a throw out a sack. Could have been a pick. You see Gabagol's facial expression in the top left there. Yeah. That one could have, that one definitely probably would have sealed the game here. Vos needs 7 on this drive through everything, right? He's still in a chance to be in this ball game. Going to go to a nice efficient play out of bunch tight end. Look for that tight end corner. Hits that tight end corner again. That play has been wide open both times he's ran it. And he's going to go to bunch tight end again. This play spacing switch or spacing out of bunch tight end has that nice table out. Another dropped pick, another throw out a sack drop pick. That one was just a crazy shed. I mean, look at that crazy shed, and then he just gets a bad animation. You see, I mean, just frustrated. All right, 2nd down and 10. Gonna go to that bubble screen with the flat. And he's going to throw into coverage, a significant amount of coverage. Ball on the 47, and he is going to flip into wide side bunch X nasty. This is a cool corner route on this play. He's going to run that like cover 3 bomb, and it's just this stuff is just not open. I mean, it's just not open. 4th and 10 needs a big dot here. It's a big down in this ball game. Kind of a lot has happened in like a minute and 10 seconds in the second half. I feel like only a minute and 10 seconds has come off the clock, but a ton has happened in the second half here. And 9 seconds, gonna flip, and it's getting tight in the clock. Looking for this running back seam probably. And has the drag. Good read by Vos. Good read. The fact that Gabagol gave up that drag by that many yards is pretty crazy. And gonna flip. It's a short corner here. Flat zig combo. Love this combo. Love this combo. Just got actually crazy shedded. And this is what you get sometimes with these D linemen. Look at how these D linemen just push that pocket. I mean, that was darn near an instant shed. Second and 14 on the 36. And he's going to go to that kind of bunch tight end combo out of bunch X nasty. Love that. Good read to the running back table. He likes that combo a lot. That post in route and then that corner, front side corner flat route. Short corner slide. And you scream that again. Look how fast this comes in. Oh, this was just a Sun 6. Okay. So Sun 6 from Gabagol at mid blitz. Bunch X nasty. 4th and 8. Another 4th down for Vos. And let's see what he ends up doing here. He's going to go to, that high-low read that he went to earlier. Tight end drag there. Going to try to freeform a streak. And looks very confused. Very, very confusing. Let's take a look at this zone here. So this is an outside third, okay, or a deep half. Probably an outside third. So when he throws the little freeform, so this is really good against cover 0. You can freeform this into open space, but the problem is by freeforming it, he freeforms it right into the third. Now, this guy says, I probably can get you a first down. But trying to make a play and kind of just, again, we throw this on time, we cut up. Yeah, just I think Bo's ultimately trying to kind of do a little too much on that play. I mean, I see why he threw it because he gets to cover 0, but the outside third, I mean, maybe, yeah, don't know. Just, I mean, is that third interception. Let's see here. We got, that's good D. That was crazy. I feel like he's playing amazing defensively, but just offensively, and offensively, not necessarily playing terrible, but just those interceptions kill you in a game like this. He's got the drag. Oh, why would you playmaker that drag back? Well, I guess it beat it, man. I didn't. That's a crazy playmaker. I did not think that'd be open. That's crazy how that beat man because he had leverage on him. That's a nice. That worked out very nice for Gab and very bad for Vos right there. Let's see. We got cover two here. Loves this cover two with that left side. And we'll see what Gab goes up to. There's a post. That's where sometimes you get a little over adjusted. Gab finally catches him. He's not had a zone on the left side a lot against Bunch X Nasty other than a hard flat. Trying to essentially user that. That's kind of his user responsibility, but a lot of user responsibility in this defense for sure. And good scramble. You see Gab's gonna see that, and that's a little bit of a difference. Gab's gonna rarely. Gab plays, I think, more percentages, and he's gonna try to play high percentage for the most part. He's not gonna throw the ball. He's not gonna. He doesn't strike me as someone that is gonna try to really put that ball in a tight window unless it's like a fourth down. And so, you kind of see that in how he's playing. He's going to play super high percentage. It's a good coverage show. Good defense from Vos. And that's good defense from Vos. Better offense. I mean, ultimately here, right? Vos is here, but in the red zone, you can high point these, and his defender can't animate. Take a look at Cromartie. He does not even animate at all at the ball. He's right there in position. Plays good defense. But unfortunately for him, we play a very offensive game, and when you high point down the red zone, a lot of times they don't animate at the ball. It's a big touchdown for Gab. It's kind of like this last drive, or this drive here is kind of do or die for Vos. I mean, you have to get 7 here. I would think. You kind of have to. If you don't get 7 here, it's way too easy to just finish the game off, because ultimately all Gabagol has to do is get a field goal. Let's see what Vos ends up doing here. Gabagol gets crazy pressure again. That's a Texas 4-man stunt coming in clean and able to attack Vos. And that Texas 4-man is all it's still relevant, man. He's still, you've got this little. I actually am starting to see why I think this mugged double mug is a little bit better, because you can at any time just send 6 and get pressure if they're not blocking a running back. And then you pair that with the Texas 4-man, and you pair that with the just the basic block sheds. The very significant, very very effective. So anyway, we'll see. Here goes to Bunch tied in, maybe. Nope. Yep. Now the Bunch tied in audible. Gonna go to that mesh play. I love this play. That's a really nice throw. Hits that slot fade in a really really cool little window there. And also, by the way, let me show you what he does here. So show you this real quick. So if you look at the play art here, what you'll see how he's stemming that slot fade? He can do that because he smart routed it first. When you smart route a slot fade, then you can stem the slot fade. So he stems it into a kind of little window. Does a really good job of hitting that route in a tight window. See what he ends up going to here. And running back slide route. Good spin move up the field. It's going to bring him another first down. Looking pretty good on this drive. Going to go spacing switch with the table, crosser, and then a backside little check down read. Nice throw from Vos. Great job of hitting that little quick read there in that tight window. Apparently Brett hurt him. Ball on the 25. Let's see what he ends up deciding to do here. Kind of a single mug look for Gab. Goes to auto motion. And just nothing there. Throw it away. Throw that. There you go. Spins out of there. Spins out again in the end zone. It's a great. That's why OBJ is such a good card, man. A spin move. Spin move is crazy right now with those cards. If they have that ability, that ability really helps them. All right, so Vose does what he needs to do there, and now what he needs to do is get a stop. So good job by Vose, kind of doing what he has to do, doing what he needs to do, doing what he absolutely has to do in that situation. He has to get 7. He gets 7. If he can get a stop here and make it 28-31, could really flip this game towards the end. So we'll see what he's able to do. This is a huge defensive drive for Vose, and he is going to choose to go into 3-3 odd here. So he's going to send that 5-man off the left side. We'll see what Gab goes to see if Gab is not able to block the blitz, but able to have just enough time to hit that route. I don't know how that slide route, man. It's kind of always open, honestly. One of the things about Vose, real quick, about 3-3 odd, I want to point out, he runs a little different. He does not set his shell, and he runs it all out of Hot Blitz 3, which I actually like that. That's what I do. That's how I run it. Anyway, watch X Nasty. Show blitz the linebackers for 3-3 odd. And now he's just going to run. I think he's going to run it off the right here. And right side pressure, blocked running back for Gab. Gives him enough time to hit the curl, and man, that curl curled. Oh my goodness. OBJ out of there for a 6. That's a tough one. Let's take a look here at what actually happens on the play. Talk a little bit about the pressure that he does. So he does what I was talking about, where what you can do in this is you can send the pressure this way as well. It's a little tricky, but you can do that. And what he's going to do here is he's going to send this guy, and then he's going to switch stick off. So you see here, he sends him, and he switch sticks. Now, what Vose does a little bit differently than a lot of people is he normally switch sticks to the backside corner, which I actually like that a little bit better, because what he does is essentially he steals a player in coverage. If there's nothing flooding the right side, he can just stay there. But anyway, so he switch sticks here, but he has his hooks on 5. And so what you see here is this combination for Gab. Got that deep stemmed up curl route, and you just see, I mean, these deep stemmed up curl routes, because you think they're a streak, and then they just curl in the middle of the field, able to deliver the ball to the curl on time. And then what's crazy is terrible pursuit right here. Look at, I mean, Vose's user is doing some interesting things. And, I think just honestly just messed up and whatever. But, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Probably trying to switch stick on the curl. I don't know, but you get a free touchdown on that basically. And you see the frustration on Vose's face. Like, I cannot, playing pretty good defense, doing a lot of things well defensively. And, ultimately, I mean, this, the slant that turns into a touchdown, the curl it's one thing to hit the curl, but for it to turn into a touchdown, completely different. And, now you're basically back to negating Vose's really good drive offensively. And now he's kind of in that same position. He's got to go down. He's got to score 7. And if he gets stopped, that's pretty much it. So see what he's able to do here. And you got to score 7 relatively quick. You can't take forever. So, good playmaker on that drag route in the middle of the field. That's a really nice playmaker. Kind of that nice playmaker back in that little pocket there. We'll see what he ends up doing here. 1st and 10. Going to go into motion cross post with that slide route on the left. Gosh, that block shot's crazy. Nice in route to OBJ. In empty protection, too. I think I just saw that, so. I don't know if he just switched to empty or if he has been in empty all game. Empty protection be a little better against the stunts. It's a great read. That corner route's been open every single time. Every single time Boze's called that play. I think he's 3 for 3 on just really nice corner routes for about 15, 20 yards. Looks very smooth on that play. That play is one of his better ones. Gonna go back to that bomb that he threw the pick on. And you see it doesn't work. This time hits that drag. Very nice. Hits that drag. 2nd and 2 from the 22. Gabagol obviously playing, Bimba don't break. Keep him in bounce type defense. Trying just not to give it all up in one play. Make him have to use some clock here. It's a really nice read to the slot fade. This is a route I never would throw. But I mean, he's throwing it with consistency right in this whole window. This guy takes the third. This guy, and you catch everything in traffic in this game. Shout out to EA. I'm so thankful that KOs don't KO anymore. Like, it's a great feature in the game because not only do they not KO if they don't have a KO ability, but now if they do have a KO ability, they don't KO either. So I mean, just if we could make the game better in one way this year, what could we do? Oh, let's take away KOs because that's what saved defense at the end of the year every year for the last couple of years. So anyway, rant over. Good read to the running back. It's a great route. Good read. Gabagol gave it up. Bose does pretty much exactly what you need to do, right? Now he's in onside kick territory here. Gonna go with the high kick. And I'm gonna go basically middle power. And not gonna get it. Now Vose needs a stop, so he's setting up double mug. Gonna be sending the goons probably. The way Vose runs double mug, at least the way he ran it a while ago, is he's going to use it as safety. We'll see if he does here. Play a little bit more man coverage, get really aggressive here. And man, I mean, you talk about a decision. This is a decision. I don't know why. I mean, yeah, I mean, let's run. He moves this linebacker to the outside. Gabagol runs inside zone for a free 10 yards and a first down and field goal range. I don't know what if he was trying to set up something, maybe a coverage or something. There you see now. This is the safety. So he'll send 7 here. So he's going to send everybody. He's going to D-pad switch. Problem is, this will be wide open. We'll see if he sends them. The other thing he could do is he could drop that D end in coverage. He could drop that D end in a flat and still get pretty good pressure. Just kind of depends a little bit on how it was set up, and he's going to get back in that cub. And good run to the running back there. So obviously, kind of key situation, right? Vose has not used timeouts. We're at the 2-minute warning, 2nd and 9 situation. And we'll see what Gavin's up to do. We got a hard flat coverage over here to the left-hand side. And he is just going to throw it up and finish him off there for a touchdown. And that's going to be pretty much GG's. Take a look at the play, kind of what happens here. So, what basically happens is he beats the press at the end of the day. Oh, no, I lied. So that's another thing. This is the cover 0 thing, man. I don't know if he shades down or not. It's kind of hard to tell. But you get a flat here. Common adjustment that Vo's been doing all game. And he runs this. It looks like, because you see how he takes that step down, it looks like he's shaded down. So Gabagol sees that. He sees this guy's playing on his back leg. And so there's a space over the top, no safety help. Gives OBJ a chance. OBJ delivers, and he's going to be able to get a touchdown out of that one, and that's going to be GG's. Honestly, this game really riddled with turnovers, kind of showing, how big of a deal ultimately turnovers are, but also a lot of, good stuff to learn defensively. Really, I thought both of these guys did a lot of good things on the defensive side of the ball in a game where defense is really, really, really difficult. But anyways, if you guys want to check out any of the stuff, links are going to be in the description down below. I want to thank you for watching the breakdown. And if you're looking to take your game to the next level, check out our school community. It's where I show you everything that I know about Madden 26 and college football 26.